Now today, before we continue to listen to the Word of God, I would like to share this with you to inspire us once again in giving our tithes. And I would like us to bring to the perspective of how God looks at tithing. What is God's perspective? Because that is our series, and we would like to ask this question: what would be God's perspective about tithing? So, di ba nakadungog tag mga ideas, perspective about tithing from other people? Maybe you have your own idea, but how about God? Unsay tanaw ni God sa tithing? So I would like to read this with you in Leviticus chapter 27, verse 30. The Word of God is saying, Leviticus chapter 27, verse 30, every tithe of the land, whatever that is, either any crops, any produce of the land, or in our time today, any resources, the 10th of it, or the 10% of it. So every tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land or of the fruit of the trees, is the Lord's. It is holy to the Lord. Wow. I want us to pause for a while and meditate this word today. The Word of God is saying every tithe, meaning to say every 10%, the 10th of every produce of your land, or the 10th of your resources before you are going to enjoy it. The Word of God is saying every 10th, meaning to say every tithe is the Lord's. In other words, it is not yours to spend. It is not yours to decide. It is not yours to keep. You cannot decide every 10% of your produce, either your land or your business or your work or your source of income. Every 10% of your produce, it's not ours to keep. It's not ours to decide. It is not ours to spend. Because in God's perspective, every 10th, every tithe of our produce is holy in His eyesight, is holy in God's perspective. Every time God look at the 10% of our produce, in His perspective, in His outlook, in His eyesight, it is holy. Holy means sacred. Holy means set apart. Kung ingon kag set apart, we don't have the right to touch this, because this is being set apart for a purpose. And the 10%, the 10th portion of our income of our produce is being set apart not just for a simple purpose, but the purpose is for God's purpose. However God would spend that or would use that for the advancement of His kingdom, it is His decision. So guys, or church, when we give our tithes, have this attitude: Lord, this is not mine. This portion is yours. And in your perspective, this is sacred. And if this is sacred or holy in your sight, this is holy as well for me. So I'm giving this to you, believing that when I give this to you, you will be honored, you will be pleased, you will wear a smile in your face, and you will continue to bless me and entrust to me everything that you would like to pour out on my lap, according to the ability that you have placed on my life to produce wealth. That is the right attitude every time. we give our tithes. Let me pray for our